The Detroit Pistons are not shopping Bojan Bogdanovic or Alec Burks. I'm not saying that they're untradeable, but they have basically said that it is more than likely that they won't be trading them. So what we're hearing for another year in a row, they very much like these guys. The Detroit Pistons are open to trading their veteran players ahead of this year's February 8th trade deadline. However, they're going to have to be blown away. The Pistons aren't openly shopping any of their highly sought-after veterans either. According to James L. Edwards of the third of The Athletic, the beat writer for the Detroit Pistons on theathletic.com, Detroit may be more willing to trade Bojan Bogdanovic and Al Burks than they were a year ago, but that's not by much. They're not shopping those players either. The Pistons are still holding firm that they want a good, potentially unprotected first-round pick for one of those guys, specifically Bojan Bogdanovic, and a good player. While Burke actually might be closer to getting you two really go first picks from like a team that is expected to be in the lottery. So it depends if you're going to go out and get that. Now, Bogdanovic has a partially guaranteed contract for next year. Only $2 of his $19 million is guaranteed, while Burks is set to be an unrestricted free agent. But the Pistons do believe they have a very good chance of re-signing the veteran swingman. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this news and why?
Of course, Detroit's talking about potentially move this microphone a little farther away, but talking about guys moving. They gave up. They didn't give up. They passed on getting Bojan Bogdanovic for two, or getting rid of Bojan for 2 picks. So what we're hearing from Mike Scotto in this great clip or great piece down below, check it out. It's an NBA trade candidates. So last year, Bojan Bogdanovic is still the top trade target for playoff teams. The Pistons allegedly passed, according to Mike Scotto, that on Bogdanovic being traded for 2 first-round picks from a contender. New coach Monty Williams loves Bogdanovic. Hoops Hype has learned. Coming into the season, Detroit hoped to be a play-in team or a playoff spot. That doesn't seem to be happening. So that also might alter Detroit's willingness to part with Bogdanovic before the deadline. There's no shortage of veteran players who could also be on the trading block for the Pistons. They got Al Burks and Monte Morris. I think, so Bogdan, you can get 2 first-round picks, we're hearing. I think Monte Morris and Al Burks, you can get several second-round picks, as the Rockets have explored trade conversations with the Pistons about Burks when they were trying to trade, several second-round picks and an attempt to offload Kevin Porter Jr.'s contract, which they eventually did. But Morris, if he can show he's healthy, is an intriguing backup point guard in the final year of a $9.8 million deal, or his deal's worth 9.8. And then former three-point champ Joe Harris is in the final year of his deal and will need to show teams he's healthy and consistent. But besides that, Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey are both guys that are expected to be the guards of the future, with Killian Hayes to be a name to watch on the market. I think you can get a first-round pick. Like if the Mavericks, the Bucks, I'm trying to think of maybe the Suns, teams that would trade several second-round picks, or maybe one of those teams that could send a protected first for Killian Hayes, who's a restricted free agent. And then because they have, let's say the Mavericks, they send, for example, I don't know who they would send, but in a deal, maybe they send Richaun Holmes and the Pistons buy out Richaun Holmes and they attach Richaun Holmes with a protected first-round pick for Killian Hayes. And then they sign Killian Hayes to a 3-year, $24 million deal. I don't think that's too far-fetched, right? I feel like that's pretty believable, especially there. Joe Harris, I could see that he's in the final year of his deal. He might be a buyout guy, and that's a guy people might wait for. Al Burks and Monte Morris are definitely guys I wouldn't be surprised if people trade for. So I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this? I think Bojan's going to stay. I don't think they're going to do shit about that. But Joe Harris, Killian Hayes, and Monte Morris, I could see as guys that, don't be surprised if they're moved or bought out.